Hey, what's up, my chick?
Hey, what's up, girlfriend?
So, just so our awesome audience knows, we kicked Megan out of here tonight. We sent Candy on up north to Detroit. We're gonna let her cover some stuff, see some family. So it's just the
You worked
two
really
chicks.
hard. Go on vacation. Megan, we got your back. Take your night off.
Exactly. Go watch that President's Cup. We think you're at an interview, but I know what you're doing. This WNBA Queen of Hoop watching the President's Cup. I know you, Missy. Um, Carrie, I am tagging some folks. Tell me about your week. How's your week been so far? Haven't seen you in 7 days.
Right? It's been really nice. It was very hot. I've been to the state fair, enjoyed some time up there with my friends and family. But it is not, it's like Mother Nature is taunting us with very nice 75-degree weather. Um, I'm sorry, it's 81 according to something. Um, but it is a perfect fall day. And we're supposed to go back to melt your face by the weekend. So,
Good. I don't have to hate you.
yeah,
Um,
well,
um, because it has been melt your face, and let me tell you, yesterday about 10 a.m. it was so hot here in the Carolinas. I was inside my office, and I got hit with the biggest, worst migraine I've had in 5 years.
oh no,
Yeah, it
that's
was
not good.
it was not fun. Um, Sorry, I'm just tagging some folks, some of our normals. I'm also tagging a couple of my colleagues because I don't think they've ever really watched the show. So I'm now letting them know we're here. And then my girl, Miss Marilyn. Um, so we have kind of an action-packed show tonight. We're gonna talk a little football because it's that time. Woohoo! And I'm sorry, St. Joe ain't winning ish because the Carolina Panthers are holding their cards close to the vest because it's preseason. And
Oh no, you're frozen. At least you're frozen in a cute pose.
did I
Hi,
lose you?
there you are.
Hi.
Hi. You were frozen for a brief moment.
Sorry.
That's okay. So you're
Um,
keeping your cards close to your heart, like I don't know, most teams are.
exactly. So do you know what I think preseason really is, or at least it is now?
What's that?
It is a place to showcase a lot of the players you really don't want to keep. You get a little splash of your rookies, little splash of, your senior members, your Patricks, your Taylors, you know, everybody but Aaron. And, I'm just saying it's just where you go to see people.
So preseason may have been something else previously. And I really never latched on to preseason because I knew it was not a whole lot. I mean,
Hmm.
have a whole lot of a weight to it. You're not going to show new plays. You're
Right.
not going to be playing your starters. You're interviewing the depth chart.
Right.
So why people get all excited and up in the business and oh my gosh, this is what's happening. We win, we win. Cue Ravens perfect preseason scores or record.
Hmm.
The meat and potatoes, the beef of the whole game is not going to be showcased until the season starts. That's when you start finding out the new plays, how the new offenses work, all these different things because no one's going to share their secrets at the pregame. They're going to show it at the game.
Right. Why would we and we have the number one draft pick. Like even the Texans folks will say that they um that they wanted Bryce Young. And because you saw that last night in one of our other group chats. What up, Cool McCain? All right, sorry, had to do it. Shout out to our friend. We love you, Cool. Um, but we had to but even Denzel, if you're watching, comment and let us know. But I'm gonna share this on Twitter too. But we're going to shucks. What was I trying to say, Carrie?
Oh, they were that CJ Stroud. Well, it does like CJ Stroud. We're seeing lots of people with big confidence with CJ Stroud, as they should. Bryce Young is the one. I mean, you guys got him.
Yeah. Exactly. And Dom, my friend, I hope you're watching. Good shout out on Dom. I forgot you. I'm sorry, babes.
I tagged him.
I saw. Thank you. I just think so. How did your preseason look?
Ours?
So, yeah.
Okay, I watched some of it, partly because we had to run some errands, and partly because it took a while for us to find it on because everyone's arguing with DirecTV in my area, and we get like only one of the local stations is on DirecTV at the moment. But that being said, I watched it. It fed my addiction. My addiction is football.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Did it look rough? Hell yes, it looked rough. Am I concerned about Chris Jones not being at camp? Man has thrown away over $1 million in fine, and it would take me what he's lost in a month's time. I can earn in probably just shy of 20 years. So, those things boggle my mind. That being said, it was the first game that the people are playing. It's going to look rough. It's going to be because everybody has been in a laid back mode for a while, so I love watching the team. I love that we got to see a few of our people that I wouldn't mind to see with a Rhapsody star, some of our rookies looking really good. There's a couple of like Jody Fortson, I think, and Justin Ross, both I would like to see get some really good playing time. I know Ross was carted off today. So there's lots of things out there that I was happy to see, but also disappointed.
Yeah.
But as a Chiefs fan, we are getting used to having the high flying, very intense offense, and it wasn't there. I didn't really expect it to be, but I'm ready to see that. So I'm a little antsy still to see that. But like I said, this is not where you're going to see the new stuff. This is where you're going to see tried and true plays that everybody knows that the Chiefs play or know the rate that the Panthers run and see how the newer people work inside those roles to determine who's going to make the roster.
And so for us, it was a shutout. It's the Jets. They deserve to win a little bit. But I was on a really interesting podcast. Shout out to the IOU. Lamar, I had a great time with you, buddy. I'm actually going to tag you two real fast. I meant to do that earlier. Sorry. But his show was a lot of fun. Hugh. Oh, hey, Kate. What's up, buddy? I've missed you since Super Bowl. Anyway, he is a Chiefs fan, but he lived in Carolina. And he was cracking up because I was so hot. Again, y'all, we had a heat index of over 110 yesterday. So I was like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to cool down. And his Jets friend was there, his Jets co-host was there, and he was talking to I'm like, you're allowed. Jeremy, what's up, my friend? And he and we were talking, and I was like, but you have to understand, you're showcasing Zach Wilson right now. Why? Because this is the time for people to see what Zach can actually do. I was like, because let's face facts, the Jets are still, even though the Panthers gave you a run for your money. Can you take it back, please, Jeremy? Please take it back, please.
No, that means it comes my way, and I don't want it back. So, Jeremy, I think we should just leave it with her.
Why do you hate me?
I don't hate you. I just hate the heat.
I walked 3 blocks to get a burrito today, and I was like drenched in sweat and had to put on my neck fan. Come on. But Aaron, but he was saying, but the Jets have been quarterback purgatory. You know, I don't want it, Jeremy. This is not the birthday present you were supposed to send me, sir. At least send me money to go to the beach, all right, dude? But I love our Michigan guys. I love you too. I understand. Can you send me some snow this winter, please, Jeremy? Give me that. But what was interesting is apparently Aaron really is truly showing and helping Zach improve. So I think, hey, Jordan Long. So I really think that Aaron is trying to help Zach out. But don't the Jets have a third string quarterback too?
Yeah, which you kind of bring up or alluded to another interesting aspect of the preseason. Is it's a display of, hey, this is Michigan. This is what we have. This is how they can, this is what this person can do. And we released him in 2 days. So he's, it's another way to kind of either get some trade offers and or help those men that are not going to make our squad make it to another one.
Yeah. And that's what's going to happen because, we still have a deadline of August 29th for more trades. And that's what you want to see. So that's for you, Jeremy. That is for you, my darling. Ice, ice, baby. Send me the snow, not the frost. And George, Candy is on her way to Michigan with her hubby.
We sent her on vacation.
Baby. Huh?
I said we sent Candy on vacation.
We did.
We're such good people.
We are. We're so nice. We need to go on vacation.
I should send myself.
Jordan, if I hear you complain one more time about your dang team, I need this. Yeah, I need that. Jordan, stop. Jordan, you need a new team. I'm going to tell you to start going for the Chiefs. Then maybe you and Carrie can have a podcast. Actually, I thought it was a podcast for you to have.
Semi or something like that? I feel like that's kind of just like ordering a mob hit or something.
But here's my thing. Everybody was like all up in arms. There's no chemistry. There's no nothing with the Carolina Panthers. Here's the deal. Frank Reich has said for the last 5 or 6 weeks that he is not showing all of our talent, all of our cards during preseason. Why would he do that? Bryce Young played 3 series. Come on, people. Matt Corral had stage fright. He had Matt Rule, the idiotic coach that needs to never be a coach ever again, and I still feel bad for you, Nebraska.
No, you don't feel bad for Nebraska.
I do feel bad for Nebraska.
No, you can't. You don't need to. You don't need to.
Lifetimes ago, but they used to be good.
That's why you don't have to feel sad for Nebraska. Go ahead.
But the
I had beef with Nebraska all the way back to when they were big. It was the Big 8. So I have just told everybody how old I am because I remember the Big 8. But go ahead.
You're 38. That's all you are. You're 38.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going with that. Anyway, we as a rookie under Matt Rule. Matt Rule, not a good coach. Not even a good bully. Like literally, he tried to be a bully. He was an ass. Oops, sorry. But he wasn't even a good bully. He just wouldn't talk to people. Then he tried to claim that he was bullied. Anyway, that's my mind real quick. I'll stop. I feel bad for Matt Corral, but I hope he gets picked up by somebody or starts feeling better about his own playing abilities. But I'm not worried about it. So Panthers fans who are watching, do me a favor. Don't stress. Listen to Reich. Reich kind of knows what he's doing. He actually did pretty okay previously. He actually knows Sam Mills. Don't know if you've watched the Panthers commercials, but I'm going with between Steve Wilkes and Coach Reich. That's why we have keep pounding back on our commercials. They weren't there before for the last 3.5 years. So have fun. And it looks like we might actually have a stable quarterback situation going on right now. That would be lovely. So just don't fret. It's preseason. We're showcasing players we want to get rid of. Just saying.
Well, and I'm listening to Chiefs people wanting to fire
Andy?
No, not Andy. They're fond of Andy, but Spagnuolo. And I'm like, do you think Andy would stick around with somebody that isn't meeting or exceeding his expectations?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing.
One
Like,
game is not a reason to throw away everybody.
right.
It's preseason. Okay.
It's preseason, people. Come on. It's too damn hot. Like, this entire country is under a crazy heat wave. Come on now. And Jeremy, get your boy Dom to watch our show again. Unless he's at a music festival tonight, in which case I will forgive him. He can watch later on YouTube. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please click the like and subscribe button. Please click the like button here. And on Twitter, retweet us, babies. We appreciate it. Okay, there's my
access or whatever you call the new thing.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to sponsor us, let us know. Hit us up. But speaking of expectations, you and I are both very loving people. We've both taken people into our homes in the past. We've done a lot of good things. We don't have a lot of money. We're not multimillionaires.
Yeah, I checked my account. That's true.
Yeah, we've both given up on our first million and our second million. We're working on our third and fourth millions now. But what's going on with Michael Orr? Like, I feel bad for him. I feel bad for the Tui family. I know that you were telling me before we came on that there was, in fact, a conservatorship. But weren't they his legal guardians as well? Didn't TMZ do a deep dive? Has any attorney done a deep dive?
I would hope so. My biggest question is who's pulling the strings? Because someone is out there pulling strings to get this to unravel. So who's pulling the strings and what do they have to gain? Well, and the two is the what is it? Conservatorship?
Yeah.
He was not adopted. He is not part of their legally part of their.
We have not seen those papers.
Right. According to the articles I read today, he did not sign any paperwork or was any of that until after he was 18, which is the conservatorship. Which then gave the Tuies the right to help him make financial decisions, which is where
help him make financial decisions. Okay.
Yes.
But not be in charge of all his finances. You didn't hear anything. You heard nothing.
No. Sorry, I'm telling my dog he cannot bark or she cannot bark at the woodpecker. Don't know. It's better not to know. So we're seeing two different sides speak out on this. What we're going to be waiting for is to see where a middle line between these two polar opposite stories is going to fall. I feel like there's somebody that is trying to take the Tuies out to make themselves more prominent in his business decisions. Is it Michael? I don't know. Is it someone that he loves? I don't know. But I feel like just from what I've read the last 2 days, that there's somebody in the behind the scenes pulling on a string to try to unravel all of this for their benefit.
Well, and here's the thing, like they were even having holiday meals together in the past year. I mean,
This was only found out in February. So
the Tuohys were here in Carolina in 2018 when he played for the Panthers. They were at every home game, Kari. I
that's
mean,
what, like, there's something that is not,
there's something not adding up.
something isn't sitting well, and I don't know what it is. So I don't know if it's something we're going to learn and find out about, or is it that, I don't know. I just,
So with the conservatorship, and I'm sorry to take you back here,
no.
they don't have access to all of his money just to help him make business, like financial decisions, right? So
Right.
he's in charge of his money, right?
Yes.
To
Supposedly, the only money that the Tuohys made off this was selling this right to his story to the author of the book that the movie's based off of.
okay,
That was
and
what
then
I
they
read.
split that between all of the kids because it was their entire story, right?
Right. But Michael is stating that he did not receive any money for that.
See, I remember him saying that he had received money from the book. I do know that he has said he never made any money from the movie.
Which
But
the
even the
Tuohys are stating that too.
he didn't make a lot of money from the movie either. But what the article I have up right now on my phone is that the money that they did make off the book and other monies that they've made, they have put into
a foundation. And I thought in his, isn't it in a foundation that has his name on it or he's associated with?
right. No, that his sons they gave it, put it in a trust fund for or son.
Okay.
And remember a couple of years ago, I've wondered if there's not a little CTE possibly. Because you're right.
I don't think that's far-fetched for anyone that has played in a,
and you're
for lack of a better word, violent sport. I mean, I don't, and we won't know, but I do know that he has a learning disability. We do know that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know to what level it is because you know, that's kind of that's a very private thing, and whether or not you share everything that is a part of your diagnosis. But the school systems had him, anyway, he got help with his education because of his learning disabilities. So we know that's there.
Right.
And then you play, you put street life and football life. We don't know. I mean, I don't know. We do know that he did not have a good home environment until the Tuohys opened their house to him. We don't know what he went through. We do know that he played, he was a very prominent player on the field and was a very good tackler. So we know that he is in a position where CTE could be something that is an underlying issue that we obviously won't know about until, unfortunately, after he passes. And if they do test for that once he passes.
Right.
So that's the thing that I really struggle with. I feel like all of them have had enough concussions, all athletes, even non-athletes have had enough concussions over your period of life that it affects you.
Yeah.
I mean, I've hit my head hard enough that I rang my bell. There was probably some kind of damage at some point. Hard to believe, as hard-headed as I can be.
What'd you say?
I said, I'm sure that there's some. Oh, you got me. You got me. You got me.
What's up, Candy? Do you hear George? Candy, did you notice that George doesn't care about Kari or I? He just wants to know where you are. I'm just saying. But we miss you, Candy girl.
Yes, we do.
Uh,
I don't. I feel like, especially since this is just the beginning of the story,
and I
we're
didn't
going to
think
find more.
behind the scenes pulling the strings. Do you think it could be a loved one?
Could it be some of his family that are now coming back into, because
Oh,
he had so many siblings. I mean, that they alluded to that in the storyline. He has siblings out there. Are they behind the scenes helping this?
mhm.
I don't know. You know,
Yep.
there's. I feel like whoever's doing this has a financial gain about it.
And here's the thing: the Tui's attorney, there's like, in the article I was reading, it says singer. I automatically think of the famed attorney Marty Singer. I don't know if that's who it is, but they're saying that Michael Orr's, a bunch of Michael Orr's attorneys have like recused themselves from this case because they don't think it has merit.
Interesting.
And the fact that he hit them with a $15 million threat before going public with this.
Yeah,
Because
something too. And I'm like, was that
money. And I get once you have money, you want more money. I get that. Trust me, we don't have a lot of money, and I want more money. But I want
there
more
you
money.
go. I can share my pennies.
Can you? Okay, thank you.
I have like a bunch of them right here in front of me.
Oh, yay, thank you.
One for you, one for me, one for Megan, one for Candy, one for you. So,
but so they're saying that it was like he did this when he turned 18. But at that point, they had already had him in the house. So there was some legal paperwork. And I know this from personal experience. There's some sort of legal paperwork where they were given guardianship
so
to help
here's
him,
the
and they paid for his private school education. They helped get him into college. They paid for the road trips to go see it, go see the different schools. Now, because at that time, I don't think you could get paid to come visit. Could you? The school coaches could come visit you, but you couldn't. But the like Ole Miss couldn't pay Michael to come visit Ole Miss.
you're onto something there. And I also think if you think back, in the rules and guidelines and all of that jazz that I dealt with as a teacher for special ed students and kids in foster care and such like that, even up through 2007 through 2011, are completely different than where they are now. So he was with them before that, and I don't know Tennessee's laws. I just know
Right.
I have a general understanding of Missouri's. Was there loopholes that were exploited at that time for them, or was it a lot more lax? I'm willing to say that it was a lot more lax. So there may not have been a need for adoption or something, but there had, at the same time, you would have had to have be a legal guardian to be able to do some of those things. Because even playing in sports, you have to have a guardian sign off of that.
Right. So when I'm reading, also it's like Michael Orr still has money. He has like $16 million. So I mean, if that's accurate, then it's not a true money grab for him. So yeah. You're right. Something more nefarious is going on in the background that no one knows about yet.
Yeah, I feel like there's, I mean, and if we
step
step back and take a look at, you've got Michael Orr going after money this way. And then we watch the running backs and the different players on different teams holding their team hostage for more money. Active players. So while money does make the world go round, it's also the root of a lot of turmoil currently in NFL.
Hold on, Carrie. Lamar, Carrie. Lamar, you weren't watching then, but I was telling Carrie about you and that y'all are Chiefs fans. Just saying.
Lamar, we need to meet up, boo.
Are you learning how to speak?
It's something new.
Oh, yesterday. It was so much fun. And I love talking smack with Nick. I am looking up
While you're looking up this, I do want to give a shout out to Sage.
oh yes.
What's
Sage
her last? Steele. Yeah. Proud of her for standing up and finding her courage, her 15 seconds of courage. You can't tell me that leaving a secure position, no matter the environment that it is, it takes courage to step away from something that is comfortable. And congratulations. The world is going to be at your feet, and I have nothing more than unlimited success coming her way. I do feel sorry for me, as well as thousands of, maybe millions others that have become very fond of her and her role that she played with ESPN. But congratulations for stepping out and making a bold move, because bold moves make the world turn.
So one thing, I won't repeat what Sage said to me, but I met Sage at the Taste of the NFL this past year, and I don't know why the comment she made to me just stuck with me. But she was like, "Oh, you're not recording, are you?" I was like, "No." I was like, I always, like, my external hard drive was backed up. My 2 SD cards were full. I was using my phone. I was like, "No, man, my phone is off." I was like, I asked before I record. She was like, "Okay." But yeah, like what she said, like, and then with that coming out today, I was like, okay. And I will say, our, friend of the show, Jacob Christner, had a very long-winded post today on Facebook. But Jacob, the synopsis of your post was ESPN screwed up. And yes, Sage, your podcast will blow it out of the water. Sage, hit us up. You love the name of our podcast. Check us out, Bill.
Come on our show. Share with the world what you've done, where you're going.
Exactly. And so I just looked up also because I wanted to know what it was. So Michael Orr, so when he was a child, and this would explain the conservatorship to assist in making financial decisions. Because his IQ when he was a child, and we all have to take the IQ test, he scored an 80 on it. And that deems you unintelligent. And then did you see that? Y'all just lost Jody Fortson.
Yeah, I was afraid that was going to happen from what I was reading.
I kind of want to send him the link so he can come on. But when I was perusing my phone, do you want me to send Lamar the link?
Well, we're at 33 minutes. We may have to do that at a different time.
Okay, that's fine. Lamar, we're going to have you on soon. But
yes.
But in 2021, he had an article with people talking about still healing from the trauma of his childhood and that he was in therapy.
So a little bit about an IQ test. Like any other test that we run, that any other test that you take, some people can do really well on a test.
Yeah.
And I know IQ is supposed to be one that can handle everybody, but even then, it's not something that is set in stone.
If you don't answer the questions, you don't answer the questions.
But at the same time, the person administering the test also factors in.
Yeah, that is true, because I'm ADHD. You know me. I never use it as an excuse. I was tested so many times. And I remember when I was in 3rd grade, I was tested. And the school psychologist told my mother, who was also a school psychologist or school counselor. The school counselor told my mother, who's a school counselor, that I was not ADHD because I was from the right side of the tracks. And my only problem is I had on white shoes after Labor Day.
Did you make them sandwiches while you were wearing your apron in the kitchen? If you didn't do that, then you didn't do the test right.
My pediatrician nailed me as ADHD when I was 3 years old. I knew I was ADHD. My mother knew I was ADHD. My father knew I was. Like, I mean, it's in my family line. Like, I'm just ADHD. I don't use it as an excuse. I use it as an advantage. That being said,
I've been tested several times on my for IQ. Several times during. My mom's like, "Well, you can go over and I can tell you. You can go get your records from high school." And I'm like, "Are your records from the school system?" And I'm like, "I don't want to find out that I thought I was smart all along, and I really wasn't." So I'm letting that sleeping
not
dog
me
lie.
tell you you're not smart. I love you. I'm sorry.
Jordan would say I'm not smart because I root for the Chiefs.
Jordan,
But,
she's giving you an opening. Take it, Jordan. She's giving you an opening.
that. But I really have always felt, and I had when I was a teacher, I had students tested, and I'm like, I didn't necessarily. I took into consideration what they found out, but to label with just that test result was not. It's not ever going to be how I am because I went to take the ACT test because that's how I had to go to college. I took it 4 times, 4 different places, 4 different situations, and all 4 times I scored something different in the same range, but something different. Each time there was something that happened that made me lose focus of the test, and I didn't get things finished. So if I can be taken off track, and I'm a fairly good student. Well, I love learning, so I'm a pretty damn good student, unless I didn't like the subject. So if I can be derailed, anyone can. I feel like I don't think that there's any test is 100% accurate.
Right.
So yes, he probably has I don't think he's not an invalid or ignorant.
I mean, and here's the thing. I don't think
that his IQ is lower.
I think you actually have to be pretty freaking smart to play football, especially at that level.
Yes.
Do you see Lamar's comment? And the Panthers, Lamar, remember, smart women also root for the Carolina Panthers.
He is now my favorite person.
Your wife. I'm going to tell her boyfriend, fiance.
Yeah. You are my favorite person. He's an Eagles fan, Lamar. Can you believe it?
And she hated the fact that it was a Super Bowl for both of them. Thanks, Lamar. So let's go into our feel-good story because Kari and I have been talking a lot tonight. We're having fun, girl. So
Jen and Kari show. I mean, why wouldn't that be fun?
So that is very true, Jeremy. That is very true.
Oh, very, very poignant right there. Very poignant. And politically correct.
So Hall of Fame coach Don Nelson, NBA coach, who was inducted into the I can't speak. He was inducted in 2012. Has multiple rental homes in Maui. So as we all know, there's a crisis going on in Maui with all the fires that's now resulted in a lawsuit against the Hawaii Electrical. That being said, what Coach Nelson has done is I'm not cussing at you. I was saying you were right.
Pretty correct.
Neither are we. That's why we get in trouble. But what he's done is he's opened up his homes, his rental units to families who've been displaced. And I just think that's awesome. And hats off to your first responders. I know that people feel like they haven't gotten enough warning. Maybe they should have had more warnings. I don't know. But who would think wildfires would take place like that in Hawaii?
Oh, I could pull out my tinfoil hat and share all I've read, but I won't. I will say this. I work in the travel industry. My heart is broken for, is it Lehigh? The area that was destroyed. And all of the people that live there that rely on the travel industry and all the people that are there visiting. I am super thankful that my position no longer requires me to take inbound calls. Because yes. I have been there for several different natural disasters that have happened. And by the end of the day, it mentally and emotionally and physically defuncts you because your heart breaks over and over and over again every time you talk to somebody. So I can't imagine. I am thankful that is not what I'm dealing with, but man, my heart goes out to everyone that relies on the tourist dollars to make a living that has lost their living.
Well, and I was watching some stuff on NBC, YouTube last 2 nights ago. And this one family, and I get it because this man like happened to be up. He was like watching his kids and his neighbor's kids that day. And there was no warning. He quickly grabbed everybody, got all the kids out, everything. Yes. I know, and I love that about it. And Jeremy, I'm going back to this in just a second, what you posted, because Kari and I meant to touch on Mr. Collins. But, you know, I love that when there is a crisis, we put everything aside. We come together. Now, if we could stop the BS in so many other areas of our life and just come together and admit that the Chiefs and the Panthers are the best teams in the league, and solve all the problems. I'm sorry, Megan.
Everyone would be.
Until you get rid of Jerry Jones, you're not a contender. I'm sorry, Megan. Get rid of Jerry, and then we'll talk. But, and yes, I have watched your show. You crack me up, Jeremy. I love your show. Give Jeremy a shout out, you guys. Jeremy, you should check out Lamar's show. Lamar, check out Jeremy's show too. This being said, this is the last one because we have gone on 42 minutes now, guys. So sorry about that. But as we all know, Alex Collins passed away suddenly. He was with the Seahawks. He was drafted by the Seahawks. He went to the Ravens for 2 years, just went back to the Seahawks last year.
Wait, he was from Memphis area. So we have some friends in the Memphis area that
1956, Jeremy. That's all I'm saying. And he was in California. He was in Florida. From what I've read, he was in the left turn lane, and another car, I guess, didn't see him, but was in the left turn lane, and he was killed on impact because they collided, and he was killed.
He was on a motorcycle, right?
Yep, on a motorcycle. Yep. So my heart breaks for his
if my child is listening or watching this, Colby, you cannot have a motorcycle in the story. Thank you for attending my podcast or my tech.
If Gary's child is watching this, Colby, from your pseudo Aunt Jenny, you are not allowed to have a motorcycle, please and thank you. Your father, however, can have as many as he wants. And I can say that she cannot. Exactly. Pay attention. I'm not going to lie. I always get terrified whenever I have a motorcycle behind me. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for checking us out tonight. Hit us up. Message us. We're always on Facebook, especially Kari, if she's not banned. You can tweet us at 3 Chicks in a Pod. You can hit us up on 3 Chicks in a Pod on Facebook. Message us individually. That's Megan, Kari, Candy, myself. You know where to find us. Thank you guys so much for watching us. Let us know any topics you want us to cover. And hats off to Sage and Coach Nelson. See you guys later.